Hello and welcome back to Devlog. And today we're talking to Veiled, whose blistering new album, Sect, is arrived on 18th of October on Seek and Strike. Veiled, thanks for talking to me today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. So first of all, I've heard the album, and it certainly gives any American act a run for their money, but also shows a great amount of imagination. Can you talk me through what your aims were for both musicality and thematically on this release?
Rob?
Well, talked enough yesterday on the interview, so I mean, go ahead. Sam is probably one of the main songwriters for at least 90% of the album, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to write something for ourselves, really. Um, Obviously, we wanted to create a story around the whole release as we were writing it, so everything's kind of in mind while we're doing that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we're listening to a lot of, or we get compared to a lot of Lorna Shore at the minute. It seems. Obviously, listen to a lot of them, listen to a lot of just different kinds of heavy stuff that were coming out at the time of writing it, really.
Hmm.
Um, And yeah, we just wanted to write something that felt good to us rather than, trying to be like other people, I guess. Yes.
Yeah. I think with myself at least, um, we got a few criticisms last time. I mean, there's always going to be criticism, especially when you're writing heavier music, in the deathcore realms. Just having clean vocals in there, so we were just trying to not let that influence us in any way. Because I feel at least it's one of our more unique elements, and it's just having that in there, having a good chorus every now and then. It's just what we do. It's what we do, and there's too many bands that are just a bit stuck in the everything needs to be blast beats kind of feel.
Yes, clean choruses.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are against clean choruses, so we were like, fuck it, let's just do what we want to do. Yeah.
Carl, anything to say about that?
Um, yeah, again, like they touched on, there's a lot of cliches that people feel like there needs to be in deathcore. Like especially these days, you get like your big five and things like that, and everybody expects deathcore to live up to that. But we just really wanted to do an album of what we love, little bits of everything that we love and enjoy, including like the classical side. Um, and just bring it all together into one big package and still keep it heavy and good.
Well, absolutely. And you're on an awesome label, Seek and Strike, which you must be stoked on.
Yeah, it's very different from what we've all done before in terms of just how things are distributed, the PR packages, all that sort of stuff that like comes with having a label, and that is yeah, it's very different. But it's nice to have that support behind us. Just a team of people that are willing
Believe
to
in us.
believe in us and invest in us in that kind of way.
Absolutely. And I personally love the fact it's not just straight up deathcore. It's certainly got that bass, but songs like Hellbound really feel anthemic, and have a keen sense of melody, and that's an important counterbalance, really, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you. It's always something that we've really been quite proud of putting in there, just like big melodies, big choruses, especially like with the lead guitar work. And like Sam over here is like ridiculous when it comes to picking out a melody. Even just something that's not the most technical, just like a nice melody that goes over a chorus or something like that. He's always been great at that. Yeah, it's having that ear for it, but not at the same time shoehorning stuff in. Like with the choruses, the clean vocals, most of the album. I mean, like I said previously, I think having the clean vocals there is one of the more unique aspects in the deathcore realm of
Mm.
things, for ourselves anyway. And even Kyle, when he came into the band, he was like, "We need to do more clean vocals. That's what, that's one of our unique aspects, sort of thing." But saying that, most of the album doesn't have any clean singing on there. It's not like we just went out there like, "Yeah, let's put loads of clean singing in there." Or at the same time, we didn't think, right, people didn't like clean singing on the previous one. Let's not put it in there. It was just whatever the song calls for. Um, at least I think it. We really managed to
Yeah,
manage to
absolutely.
Yeah,
whatever other
I mean,
people. By all means, we'll
I,
find it.
I was gonna say like I love the fact that in this album, even in the same songs, there's going to be sections where you're absolutely losing your mind, moshing your tits off, and then the next 30 seconds later, there's just this sad chorus that with great melody playing, and you get that beautiful contrast. But like Rob said, it's not just slammed in for the sake of it. It has that flow and that transition, and
Yeah, I get that.
its need is there for like certain songs. If we were writing a song and it didn't need a chorus, we just didn't do one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've heard countless times in my interviews this year, like if everything is heavy, nothing is heavy. So you need that contrast. Contrast is everything. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So and on talking to contrast, I noticed on Omen of Torture, there's parts of the riffing that almost sound new metal, like a little bit. Is that intentional, or am I just hearing that wrong?
I wouldn't say intentional. Adam wrote, well, in terms of Omen of Torture, Adam wrote all of that. And yeah, he just sent it across. That was one of the songs where, yeah, Adam wrote it all. Sent it across. It was like, hey guys, here's the song. Do you guys want to add anything to it, or what do you want to do with it? And we took a day or two. Normally we like pick it apart or like just think, oh well, maybe I could add this, maybe I could add that, or I'll take this part and rework it. But me and Sam both just kind of listened to it and thought there's not really anything we want to do to it. And if we want to add something at this point, it would be for the sake of saying I've added something or I wrote that lead line or whatever. So we just kind of took a couple days and listened to it and lived with it and was like, no, we really don't need to change anything about it. So yeah, Adam's to thank for all of the new metal. Anything that goes on in that song, Adam's to thank for it, and I'd imagine so because he's a massive Limp Bizkit fan. So yeah, good ear.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly like a standout. But I'm loving what you guys are saying about like the song is the boss at the end
Yeah,
of the day, isn't it? It's what the song needs. You're in service of the song. I like that. I like
yeah,
that a lot. Where did you record the album? Because it sounds massive.
right here.
All right.
Yeah, right here. All of it's recorded. Yeah, tracked, recorded, written right here in this basement, and then Adam mixes. We send it all off to Adam. He mixes it, makes it sound ridiculous. And
Nice.
his gotten even better on this album. Every time he sends something through, whether it's just a demo, we're just like, oh shit, how can we make this sound better? And we've always said that. I think Sam will know I've said this a lot. A lot of bands get a great feeling when they go into the studio. You've got really shitty little demos, or like it's like, here I've just recorded this idea on my phone or something like that, and you've got like a really bad sounding drum kit or whatever. You just get these demos thrown together, and then you go into the studio, and then you finally hear them all mixed and mastered, and it's like, holy shit, this sounds amazing. Having Adam in the band, everything sounds like that constantly. He'll send a demo through, and it sounds like a final mix, and you're like, right, well, where does it go from here? He doesn't really
Yeah.
get any. And then somehow he manages to like push the envelope when it comes around to mix time, final mix time. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. So, got a big up Leeds here. Leeds Metal Acts seems to be having an amazing year with yourselves. In retrospect, both hitting the stage at Download this year. I was there, saw you both. I was very proud. How does it feel playing the hallowed turf of Donington? How was that?
Um, I was going to say it's. I mean, we've been asked this question a few times, and the answer is always the same. It's like it's a dream come true, essentially. So I think when you first step into a practice room to become a band, whether you're 16 or however old, like about Download, you've seen them stages, you've seen the amount of people that are there. Like that is your goal, and like we actually got to do that, and yeah, we don't know where we're going to go from here. Really, it's I think we're going to retire.
Just go up the stages.
Yeah, next aim is main stage.
Yeah.
I mean, with the stage that we played, it was actually there was main stage, second stage, and it was the biggest tent stage, even out of
Mm.
all of the tents in the arena. And I couldn't believe it. Like when they showed us you know, the stage and what we were playing, we're like, holy shit, this is ridiculous.
It is vast, isn't it? Because when you hear about a tent, you think of a tent, but when I saw it, I was like, "This is huge." This is,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
we
I've been
we
to second and third stage before, like when I've been to download before, but then so I was expecting, one of the smallest stages there, what have you, and then we walked into the doghouse and I was like, "Geez, Christ!"
Well, as we were walking past it, we thought it was the little tent near the silent disco
Oh, yeah.
stage across from there. Like we were thinking it was that, and then obviously people who were taking us kept going until we got to the doghouse, and then everything kind of kicks in at that point.
Wow.
We
And
could
then
the parts of the village from the guest camping, and we saw the silent disco tent.
Mm.
So we're like, oh, what if that's the one we're playing? Like that, that'd be cool. But then we saw the top of like the den or whatever it was called, the big blue tent that was
Yeah.
behind it. And then I think one of us was like, oh, imagine if it's that one, like that really big. And we're like, nah, it's never going to be that one. Nah, we're definitely in the small one over there. And then, like Sam said, they took us around to the actual doghouse, which is like 3 or 4 times the big as size as either of them. We're like, holy shit, got big boys.
Yeah. Carl, anything to
I
add?
was just gonna say, like when we first walked into that tent, security let us in, and we stood at the opposite end to the stage, and I was like, "Where's the fucking stage?" It was that far away. It's like tiny, and then you get closer and closer and closer, and it's like, holy, it was crazy, man. And then I think that's when the jitters started kicking.
Oh, if you didn't get the jitters, I'd be very surprised. So I understand the title of the album comes from the term your fans have for themselves, which is the sect. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. We wanted to go for something to expand the world that we're building on. And yeah, we went with Sect. Obviously, it's been through many other names at this point, but we settled on Sect for the album for it. Just yeah, short to the point. It's got a deeper meaning if you look into it, sort of thing as well on the album cover and that. And but yeah, something short to the point gets the message across.
Awesome. And the artwork's amazing. Who's responsible for the artwork?
Thank you. That'd be me myself. And Kyle provided a little bit of the sort of red centerpiece for that one. And then I did all the I guess making it look pretty on the sides.
Yeah.
I did with that one. I can't take too much credit. It's just putting some scratches on. But no, I really like it. It fits.
It looks great. It looks classy. I love it. So the last time I saw you guys was sporting Graphic Nature at the Key Club. Well, I was taking photos and stuff like that. And you certainly got an intense light show. And so is that, I mean, is that something you're wanting to build on over time? Like, the performance end of it?
I don't think he really wants to with how much work it takes to do it.
It's a lot of work, but it's always been sort of part of our selling point live, I guess, is just really take over the stage. Like just being theatrical. We've got the story behind it. Obviously, we've got the masks and everything that we do on that side. It's not for anonymity. It's just for, you know, aesthetics in that sort of point. It's all part of it. The lighting is really sells what we're doing gimmick wise with the with how we look, how we dress, everything. It's all sort of part of it's all part of it. I mean, we've played shows without lights before, and it just kills the vibe when you're going up there looking all spooky, and then there's big old like crap lights,
stage lights, some glitter balls spinning.
Yeah, when we know what the lights are going to do, and it's going to turn off at the right times, and we can really add into the theatrics. And I think Sam said it at one point. It was like when Motley Crue. Don't think any of us expected Motley Crue to come out in this interview, but
I know.
they always wanted to. I mean, you
Bring
tell
a
the story.
stadium performance to the pubs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's in the dirt. That.
Yeah, Sam loves Motley Crue. And yeah, we've always had kind of that ethos with it. Bring as big of a light show as we can to whatever venue we're in. Make people remember who we are, where we are on the bill. Even if it's just remembering us for the light show, if you remember us for, the vocals, the way we dress, the way we, anything about that evening, we want to help make you remember us, and just join join the sect essentially, and like hook you in on what we're doing. Yeah, that's always been a massive thing for us as the light show. Purely because I'm a bit of a lighting nerd in that kind of test aspect.
Is that all off the click?
Yeah. So all on the mothership, let's call it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right, mothership. But yeah, I'm a bit of a lighting nerd, like I say. So we'd be missing a trick if we didn't use that within our set. You got to use all of the strings to your bow.
Absolutely. And there's, I mean, I've seen it more and more with bands these days because it used to be like a really expensive thing to do. And these days it's getting more and more affordable to actually, go a bit, further with your stage show and actually put in the theatrics, which is really, really cool for any band, actually.
Yeah, definitely. It's all part of it these days, and it's that competition aspect, and especially when you've just got to keep up with what's around pretty much. Because
Mm.
when we were gigging in other bands, our various bands that we've played together in through the years, like Kyle will know, like every other band seemed to have like lighting in some way, whether it was just a light bar, two light bars, or some blinders or strobes or whatever it was. And then when you went up there and didn't have them, you looked shit. No matter how good you sounded, essentially, like it was like always that band was getting talked about with the good lights or something like that. So you got to keep up with it and keep adding to it. And like you say, the more affordable it's gotten, the more accessible it's gotten, the more bands that are doing it, and the more bands that are doing bigger things. So then you've got to keep adding to it and adding to it, and like, oh well, this band had this sort of lights, and then so we've got to either keep up or we've got to add and outdo them. It's friendly competition in that sort of sense, but ultimately, if you don't keep up, you'll get left behind. So yeah, I'm glad we can keep up with it.
Fair play, fair play. So I understand you guys have got a gig coming up on the 26th of October in Leeds called Hometown Gathering 2, the second coming at Lending Room. Are there any more upcoming dates you can talk about, or is this one of those tight-lipped things?
We've just some today, haven't we?
Yeah, we just announced 3 today
Awesome.
with Draconian Rain.
Oh, amazing band.
Yeah.
And I'll swap you to Rob to talk about that because I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I think it's Perpetual Paradox, which is a lovely, lovely tongue twister. Sam's fact checking that for me just now, but where are we on? There we go. So yeah,
Perpetual.
Draconian Rain, us, Perpetual Paradox, and we will be playing
London, Birmingham, and Leeds.
and that is on the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of February next year.
Awesome sauce.
Getting out there a little bit, but yeah, right now the focus is on the hometown gathering. It's the album release show. Yeah, just get this out there, get the album out, get as many
Push the album.
yeah, get as many people to witness it live in the flesh for the first time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Right, lastly, I'm going to go round the group here, right? What's on your playlist right now? What are you listening to?
Oh shit.
Start with Carl.
I'm listening to the Amity Afflictions Redux at the minute. I absolutely love it, and there's a lot of people that don't like it really. They prefer the original version, but I really think the Redux is like adding things to it that weren't there in the original. But then again, like they've taken some things away that weren't. So it's a bit could go either way for different people. But other than that, that is literally it. I've got that on repeat at the minute.
Fair play. Fair play. Right, over to you guys.
Well, I'll go because yeah, I guess on mine has been, you can probably tell from the album, I guess, or you'll at least be able to hear in places once I say this, but it's a lot of Humanity's Last Breath, Mirror. That's pretty much all I've been spinning lately. I'll be honest with you. Humanity's Last Breath, Mirror.
ABBA.
Yeah, ABBA. Yeah, I love ABBA. If I'm after anything like a Busted, is yeah. If it's not Humanity's Last Breath or Mirror or Knocked Loose, because then latest album is absolutely phenomenal.
Mm.
I think they are the trendsetters for the coming years in metal. Knocked Loose are going to be like the biggest thing. Like just
They're
with
well on their way.
and just with the things they're doing and the sound that they're carving out for themselves, they've managed to completely transcend anything about like hardcore. I could go on all day about Knocked Loose, but yeah, if it's not Humanity's Last Breath, Marat, or Knocked Loose, then it's probably ABBA or Busted for myself.
Right, I'm going to switch that over.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Morgan Wallen lately,
Right.
country.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of metal, but I mainly listen to a lot of other stuff outside of the band, we'll say. So yeah, the Morgan Wallen. Got a little Uzi on there, a lot of him. Yeah, just a mix of stuff really. I did just check as well, and I've forgotten them all. The Isley Brothers.
Right.
He brings
Typical
up
songwriter, see?
Pardon?
Typical songwriter, listens to everything. That's brilliant.
yeah, he says all this stuff just to be a little bit edgy, but he's the one that put me on to Marat, and
Oh yeah.
Well, that's incredible, guys. So, thank you so much for talking to me today. And once again, the album is out on the 18th of October on Seek and Strike. So, Bill, thanks for talking to me today.
thank you for
Thank you
having
so
it.
much.
Cheers.
Go listen to the album.
Yes, everyone listen to the album.
Please, this band is hemorrhaging money.